Alright guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the boat project here. Last week my son and I spent about probably 10 hours sanding all the glue and stuff around the edge of this boat, or contact cement that they had used to put the indoor-outdoor carpet in. You can see all that silver over there. We got it down and took it down pretty good. Most areas we went ahead and took the paint off. We're going to be sanding it anyway to paint it. When he gets home from school today, we'll be flipping it over to get started sanding on the other side of it. Last week we also went ahead and filled it up with water. We weren't planning to do a leak test last week, but we went ahead since we had it out and it wasn't raining. We filled it up with water, and surprisingly we only found 2 spots that had leaks. One is in the back here below the transom. There were 2 screws. Probably they had a fish finder or some sort of transducer on the back, and one of those screws had rusted and it was leaking a little bit back there. Not a whole lot, maybe a drip or 2 about every 45 seconds to a minute and a half. And then there was a small crack back underneath that same area on the boat, and we'll have to take and get that either welded. I've got a friend that has a welding shop that can do aluminum, and I'll take it over. It shouldn't take him 2 seconds to, I mean, it's a very, very small crack, and I'll show that to you later today once we get it flipped over. And then we're going to start sanding on the bottom side of the boat and start getting it ready for paint. After that, we're going to take it off. We get the other side, or the bottom, sanded down. We're going to take it off completely and start working on the trailer. That way, once we get it painted, we have something clean to set it back on, and then we'll start working on the flooring and that stuff. So once we're going to get it flipped over when he gets home from school, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like, and I'll show you where those leaks are, and we'll go from there. One thing we're not sure of how we're going to do, and I want to see some comments below if you've done a boat project like this before. The guy or the person that probably had it before the person we got it from, it looks like he took the transom support off the original one. There's some you can tell that he filled in or had the old transom holes where they were pop riveted in, welded over, and then he took and welded a new transom support in there. So I'm not sure how to attack this. The old transom, the wood on the transom's rotted out. It needs to be changed, and I'm not sure how to fix this. I don't really want to take the entire back of the boat off if I can get away with it. If I can just cut this metal transom on the inside here, cut that support away, and then cut the metal transom itself off, because he welded both ends of that on the upper and lower part of that transom's welded. If we can cut that out and maybe get lucky enough just to be able to slide a new piece of wood in there and then weld it back, that would be great. If not, I'm going to have to end up tearing the whole back of the boat apart, and I really don't want to do that if I don't have to. Give you a nice tight shot there so you can kind of see what I'm dealing with. It's kind of dark. I don't know if you can see that, but that's basically just welded to one of the rib supports down there. So I'm thinking we just cut that off and then maybe try to slide a piece of wood in between those 2 storage sides right there. So if anybody has any ideas, or if you've dealt with this before, if you could let me know in the comments below, I'd appreciate it. All right, here's one of the spots that we found that was leaking. It's I don't know if you can see, it's a really tiny little, I don't think the camera is going to focus on that, but it's just a tiny little crack. It wasn't leaking, like I said, a ton, maybe a drip or so every 45 seconds to a minute, maybe a minute and a half. It was good. Probably wouldn't have more than a cup of water in there if you were fishing all day in it. And then the other spot, like I was saying, one of these screws was leaking. I think they probably used that to put some sort of transducer, either for fish finder or depth finder or something like that. But we're going to take that out and probably we'll just put a pop rivet back in that, or I may have it while we're over there getting the crack welded. I may let him go ahead and weld that too, just to make absolutely sure that we don't have any problems with that leaking later on down the road. Alright guys, that's going to do it for us for the day. We had to take a little break and run get some more supplies. We ran out of grinding wheels and sandpaper, but I think we made some good progress today. Probably got about half the boat done. Need a little bit more work on the sides, and then we'll be able to do the other half in the morning. My son had to go to work this afternoon, but I think we're making good progress. We're probably right on time. We're going to start working on the trailer as soon as we get the rest of it sanded down, and then kind of go from there. If you want to continue to watch the progress of the boat, click the subscribe button down below, and if you wouldn't mind, and if you enjoyed this video, give us a like or a thumbs up. We'd appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next video.